Gary from MrG Shave here, back from a holiday. I've been back for a week, but things have got in the way of shaves, as you've probably seen in my comments section or community section where I've posted why I couldn't put up a video. Yesterday was just dumb mistake. I was that busy last week catching up on stuff that I needed to catch up on and packing all the gear away and everything else. I completely forgot to charge the batteries for the camera. So I was all set up for the shave, ready to go for it, and there was no power in the camera and no power in the spares because they drained on their own. I didn't even know they did that. So anyway, either way, I had to charge all the batteries, had to charge the power bank, I had to charge the lights. There was just too much to charge yesterday afternoon for me to even try an attempt to get in a shave. So apologies for yesterday. Wednesday, my daughter, my youngest daughter, she had an urgent appointment with, well, she had an appointment as soon as she got back on the Monday with a dentist, and they booked her in for the Wednesday for one root canal, after which she was told she needed another one next Wednesday. So next Wednesday's shave may not happen because I've got a driver. She's not supposed to drive after they've dosed her up with the pain, well, with the anaesthesia and everything else. So yeah, busy time. But we had a good holiday. The weather in the first week was pretty awful. I'll post up a clip of what we arrived with. On the first Saturday we got down, we started off about 4:30, which is when the storm hit, and we were getting 50-60 mile an hour winds, and you've got to bear in mind there was certainly two of us in convoy. My youngest daughter not being that experienced in driving that far, and she's in a fairly underpowered car, so as soon as she hits a slope, a slight gradient, the speed just drops off. So it took a long time to get down there in very unpleasant conditions, and coming back we had another storm on this, pretty much a duplicate but worse than the storm we went down on. So it took us a fair old time to get back. Plus we had 2 road closures on the M5 coming up north. So yeah, it wasn't great start and end to the holiday, but the first week was pretty grey with a bit of rain. The second week was a lot better, to be fair. So we at least saw some sun. Not the best of the Cornwall vacations that I've had. I mean, I think the year before last that was the best. That was really hot and sunny all the way through. But this year was, yeah, almost the complete opposite. But there's plenty to do down there while we're down there. So anyway, let's get on to the shave. The hardware I'm using today, I'll start off with the bowl. I'm using my Giles Pedestal shaving bowl. Great bowl this. I used this on the Saturday I got back after I got up. The brush is my Yaqi Barbershop 24mm synthetic brush. Tuxedo, I believe that is. All the Yaqi brushes are great. So I have Botti, which I have one Botti, which I think is a great brush. Probably better. It feels a bit better than the Yaqi brushes, but the Yaqi brushes it's not to take away from the Yaqi brushes. They are excellent and great value. The razor today, because I've got so much beard growth, is a full week and a day, I guess. I'm using my Razorock Hawk V3. I think I've used this fairly recently, but I just decided it needed a new blade, and I thought I was going to try, where's the blades? The blade that I'm using today is the Kai Captain Mild, I believe. Yeah, is it? Let's just have a look. Sorry, Captain Titan Mild blades. So there you go. And I believe they're made by Kai. So that's the blade I'm using. and it's its first use. So that's all the hardware. I'm going to get myself ready for the shave and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back, all ready for the shave. Let's wet the subject matter down. Start with the dome. Oh. And then on the face. Oh, fantastic. Cold shave again. I think this is shave number 202, could be, or 203. I can't remember. I did look before I had my shower, but yeah, I can't remember. That was a long time ago. Short-term memory. It's about 5 minutes ago, but there we go. So let's get the pre-shave on. It's Pears soap. I'll show you in a sec, but great cheap pre-shave option. Does a great job. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, so I've had a busy week. That's the Pears soap. So I've had a busy week and I've got another busy week coming up. Various things, appointments, all sorts. But Wednesday my daughter's got to have another root canal. So she knocked her or chipped her teeth when she was very young on a slide. So she sort of came off the slide backwards, standing, so that she just slipped off and went to hold with her hands the slide. The slide came up and chipped her 2 front teeth. Well, both of them need root canals now. So it's one of those. Right, the soap today is Barbershop. Hence the Barbershop brush, and it's lathered up beautifully. Really nice. It's not as runny as I'd have it for a straight shave. It's just right for a shave with an SE or a DE safety razor. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, that feels nice. I'm looking forward to the pub later on this afternoon. It'll be, I think it's the first, yeah, it must be the first time I've been back to the pub. No, I didn't. I went on the Sunday. I nipped in for a couple on the Sunday, I think. Or was it the Saturday? I can't even remember. It's been so busy this week. I've just remembered I haven't rubbed in the pre-shave. It'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. Oh, I'm so out of practice. So yeah, it was an interesting holiday. I've got so many photos to develop. Well, not develop. I haven't got a film camera, but I've got to process them in Lightroom. And I think I took over 2,000 shots while I was down there. So I'll put some up at the end of this. I haven't developed them all yet, so I'll probably spread it out over the next few videos, put a few photos up and maybe a couple of videos. Didn't do too many videos while I was down there. It's mainly photos. I love my photography, and that's all I tend to focus on when I'm on holiday. Some street photography, some, you know, landscape. Some I didn't really do official portraits though I did have the lenses to do it. I've got a 56mm lens for my Sony a6600. So, and that's the camera I used most of all while I was down there. Well, yeah, I did use it more. I used that more for landscape, and I used my Ricoh GR2 for the street photography. So I'll put some images up. I'm by no means a professional, so just bear that in mind. I definitely took some video of the storm when we got down there, we decided we'd go down to our favourite beach, which is called Chapel Porth, near St Agnes. Fantastic beach, especially when the tide's out. But surf-wise, it's better when the tide's coming in. But yeah, so we went straight down, and boy, was it some storm. We were having to lean over just to stand up straight. So yeah, interesting arrival. Worst weather, although I can't really say it's the worst. I mean, it's the worst. It was interesting. The most interesting weather that I've experienced in Cornwall ever. That storm was quite spectacular, and the waves were, you know, later on in the day, once the wind had died down a bit, there was still some huge waves coming in, which I think I got some of that. Oh, this is a great shave. Now this mild blade in the Razorock version 3 stainless steel it is mild. You can hardly feel the blade, even though there's quite a lot of blade exposure. So it's quite surprising. I've got to use it. I'm not going to replace them, let's put it that way. The mild ones are a bit too mild, I think, for me. Right, here we go. Face with the grain. Yeah, you see, it's just too mild. It's not working very well. What am I going to do? Am I going to change this? Oh, I'll continue. It's because it's 7 days worth of growth. You see how much it's leaving on the first pass, so I have to go over it again. And this is an aggressive razor with a very mild blade in it, so it's an experiment. I'll continue. It'll be fine on the second pass, but look at it. Wow, I've never struggled so much. I should have started with a straight razor. That would have just taken it all off in one stroke. That feels so good. That's actually done a really good job, to be fair, even though I needed a lot of strokes to reduce the beard sufficiently for a first pass. But I think the second pass should be better. So it's got rid of the majority of the beard growth. So how's everybody been while I've been away? The site I was on, pretty much, well, it occasionally got signal, let's put it that way, and never strong enough signal to upload anything. And it was about 10 minutes from the beach, and that's pretty much where we spent most of our days. Occasionally we went into Truro. It was either on the site cooking food or barbecues most of the time. We didn't barbecue on the day we went down. I always make 2 fairly big lasagnas. Well, it's enough to feed. Each lasagna is enough to feed at least 6 people, I would say. Decent portions. 5 or 6 to each lasagna really. And there were 9, well, I'm just trying to remember, there were 8 of us on the first night, 9 on the second. So the first night we had the lasagnas, just threw them in the oven in the static caravan. So across the grain. Yeah, this feels a lot better now. This next to no blade feel. Which to me, in my mind, it actually makes it more difficult. Because you can't tell whether you've got the right angle. I mean, my muscle memory gets it right pretty much every time anyway. And you can hear it cutting. Oh, it feels amazing. Oh, what a great head shave. I'm really enjoying this. We still haven't packed everything away yet. The bodyboards and wetsuits and stuff like that, and some of the towels still need to go away for next year, because we have a set of beach towels basically, and we also take some of our own towels down, even though they are provided on site, but it's good to have spares. So across the grain, straight up on this side. Yeah. That feels so much nicer now on the second pass. Very smooth on the second pass. Really, really smooth with that blade in. That's pretty good. Obviously still needs the second and the pickup pass, but that's where I'd expect it to be. Even with a more aggressive blade, I'd expect it to be where it is now. So that's not bad. My impression of this blade is getting better, as I suspected, to be honest. I thought that would be the case because I had so much hair, beard growth on my face. It made life very difficult for that blade. I am so enjoying this. So relaxing. But, that feels great. So has anybody else been on holiday while I've been away, or are they on holiday now? If so, where have you been? Against the grain now? Now I tend to buff with a DE or a SE when I'm doing my dome, because you've got to get exactly the right angle in certain places, especially where the creases are, and you've got to adjust to suit. Whereas with the leaf razor, you don't have to think about that. So by buffing, I wish. Sorry. Oh dear. By buffing, you can feel whether it's still cutting or not, or you can hear whether it's still cutting or not. And it's just a technique I use on my dome. I don't really need to do it on the top. There are probably, I can probably count on one hand how many hairs I've actually got on the top of my dome. But I just find this technique works better and more efficiently. When doing my dome. So across the grain. Against the grain. Did I say across the grain? It's against the grain. With this blade in it, the Hawk version 3 is tamed. It feels really quite mild, smooth, and fairly efficient. I wouldn't say it's as efficient as, you know, this with a Feather Professional blade in it is a different beast altogether. So let's have a feel around. There's a bit here I've missed. That's a complete miss. That's that done. A little bit there. That's it, BBS on the dome. Just the fourth pickup pass on the visage to do. Oh, I love the scent of this Stirling soap Barbershop. Beautiful scent. Good 4 or 5 out of 10. And I've had this soap for quite a while, and you'd think that, you know, the scent strength would dissipate a bit. I've had this particular soap over a year, I think. I can't remember. I'd have to have a look to see when I actually purchased this. But the Barbershop, I think, was the first one that I bought, so from Stirling. Fantastic. Wow. Let's have a feel around. It's so satisfying when you shave after
having so much beard growth. It's a little bit left here I've got to go back to. There's a tiny bit there. Doesn't want to go. That's got it. Wrong angle.
That's it. BBS. So, let's just have one last feel around. That's it. BBS all over. Right, I'm going to do my usual thing. I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Post-shave feel, excellent. Really good. Almost don't need a balm, but you know me, I always go through the process. I just enjoy it. Feels great. Nice and smooth. Well hydrated. Brilliant. You can't go wrong with Stirling soaps. I mean, they're some of the best soaps for the money you'll get. Just looking at this. How long have I owned this? Wow. So, I can't remember when it, but this is years old. This soap is years old. It's 3 or 4 years old, because it's still got, I don't know whether you can see that, the Pastor's Pharmacy. This is one of the soaps my daughter bought back from New York the first time she visited, and she's visited twice that I remember. And there was a few years in between, so this has got to be at least 4 years old, if not more. So it just goes to show I've got that many soaps, and I've only used, over 4 years, I've only used that much. Look at it. I mean, you can almost count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scoops out of there. There may be one extra, I don't know, but that's amazing. Great soap. Stirling, great value. You can get it from, I forget which vendor. It's either Shaving Time, Agent Shave. There's various ones that you can have a look for, but just search for Stirling Soap Company UK on Google and you'll find the vendor in the UK, and for those in the US you just go direct to Stirling. Great company. They do a lot for the shaving community, and I support them fully. Right, so let's get rid of this water. Cold rinse time, and alum. I haven't used alum for 3 weeks. So let's go with it. Let's see what happens. I know I've nicked myself a few times on the dome. There's one there that I can feel, but other than that, no feedback as yet. Whereas if I'd used a Feather Pro, I think this would be stinging a bit now. But it's not, there's no feedback at all on this. Oh, a little bit here. There was a little bit on the back. Oh. Nothing on the foot, or a little bit there. I would say overall, sting wise or feedback wise, in the worst spot it's only about a 2 out of 10, so and it's already fading, so just goes to show what a great shave that was. I was disappointed with the first pass. It just wasn't getting it. you know, I had to go over at least with the grain. I reckon I almost did 3 passes with the grain on the first pass. But it is, you know, a milder blade. But the blade exposure on it is quite extensive, so I was surprised it was as mild as it was. But on the second and third passes, that's where that blade shone compared with that razor. And I think if I was an everyday shaver or an every other day shaver, something like that, then that blade pairing with that Hawk version 3, perfect. So, right, let's do the Witch Hazel, which is my old trusty Boots Tea Tree and Witch Hazel. Do the dome first. A little bit of a sting. That's the tea tree oil stinging, that is. Oh, that feels amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then this, the aftershave that you probably saw in the thumbnail at the beginning, is something I found before I went on holiday. My mother wanted to get herself a couple of dresses for, you know, when we went to the pub for a meal, or if we went out for a meal, she wanted something nice to wear. And we went to Marks and Spencer's. My daughter sort of phoned up and said, come on, let's go. So we all went. And I found this aftershave in Marks and Spencer's, £15, look, up here, and a free sample. This is spiced amber, so it's amber, geranium and cedar eau de toilette. And it's actually a spray, which I'm surprised. I didn't realise it was a spray, I thought it was a splash. So literally just, you know, having opened it for this, I didn't realise. So, let's give it a go. I wouldn't say the scent strength was very strong, but it's a very pleasant scent. But I think you need a fair bit of it, and I don't know how long it's going to last. I'll update you. But it's an eau de toilette, so it should last. It should have a higher percentage of scent in it, but it's quite mildly scented. I would say scent strength off this first. Let's say that the reference point is something like Davidoff Cool Water. That I would say is a good 8 or 9 out of 10. This is about a 3. But that's fine. Glad I've got a big bottle if you need that much. And then Bulldog Sensitive Aftershave Balm finishes the shave. So just squeezed out that much. That's plenty for the dome and the face. And the ears. Oh. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of today's shave. I hope to get back into a routine by next week. I think this Wednesday is questionable whether I get a shave up. I may, if I have time on Tuesday, I may do a pre-recorded shave for the Wednesday one, because my daughter hasn't told me what time. She can't, you know, when we left there, I think she was quite spaced out, so she didn't tell me what time it was, and then she was supposed to tell me this week at some point what time we're going to get her a root canal done next Wednesday, but I think it's in the afternoon, and if it's in the afternoon, there's no chance I can do a shave on Wednesday. So if I get a chance on Tuesday, I will try and do a pre-shave, straight shave, and it'll be another John June special shave. Because I've got 2 or 3 more razors I've got to show you, and then I've got to decide which ones I'm going to keep and send the rest back to John. But yeah, so It's more than likely, I'm just saying, more than likely there's no video on Wednesday. My next one will probably be next Saturday, and then I hope to get back into my normal routine of every Saturday, every Wednesday. It's just been very busy since I've been back, and I just haven't had time to think or think straight. Anyway, glad to be back. I'll see you all soon, probably next Saturday. Bye now.